Welcome to SpeakUp, LightUp, your podcast and show to listen to prominent founders and CEOs who are speaking up the truth about their path to success, the reality and journey behind the scenes. And we are opening up conversations about important topics that shape the reality we are living in today. And for your reality, we are lighting up with some tangible solutions, proven strategies, and applicable tools to create a greater life for you, for society, for humanity in general. Join our movement. Our purpose is encouraging and inspiring our listeners and viewers to speak up. Share your voice matters, your voice must be heard. I'm your host, Valerie Prasetyo. This episode is very exciting, especially for those who are passionate about technology, blockchain, crypto art, because we have an amazing guest today. Michelle Reeves is an international entrepreneur who has built multiple businesses across Web2 and Web3. She has been featured on Forbes, CNBC, LA Times, and other for her business insights and innovation in consumer brands. Michelle is the co-founder and CEO of Mavion World, a global fashion and NFT marketplace launching in March 2022. Super exciting. We're all waiting for that. Michelle has been investing and learning about crypto since 2016 and recently started WAGMI NFT, where she has built an all-inclusive community for NFT enthusiasts, where she shares education and updates on NFTs. So welcome, Michelle. Thank you very much for being with us today.
My pleasure, Valerie. Thank you so much. It's great to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you too. And I'm actually in the space kind of beginner, but I find your posts very interesting, like feed me, ETH, and surround me with pixels. So maybe you can share how your journey has begun in this space and when your passion for NFTs begin.
Absolutely. I definitely have a unique perspective coming into Web3, crypto, and NFTs. I mean, even my background here, I feel like, so much about crypto feels dark and mysterious and unknown.
Yes.
And I'm like, let's bring some joy and sparkle into this. This is a really exciting adventure. I joke that NFTs are an action sport, high adrenaline. And once you go into this tunnel and you see what's at the other end, you will not want to come back. So I think for me, I really, I organically, started getting into crypto in 2016. And I think when you have skin in the game yourself, you're more inclined to learn and want to know what's going on. But as I kept going on that journey, I built, an incredible network of people in crypto and Web3. And then in my company, which is the Accessory Junkie, that's our Web2 e-commerce company, we were working with designers around the world and doing a very traditional e-commerce model where we would curate beautiful pieces, sell them direct to consumer or to our retail partners like Nordstrom. We realized in early 2020 that we were excited to be a part of Techstars, which is a business accelerator, if you will, in the US. And we talked about opportunities to really evolve our company from Web 2 into Web 3 and leverage gaming and NFTs and all the solutions that blockchain technology could offer. But the consumer wasn't there. So we were excited about what we could see was being built, but consumers didn't know about it. So we realized the timing wasn't right. Let's just keep Web 3 on the side for now, and we'll come back to it when the consumer has more knowledge about what it is. Well, of course, the pandemic hit about 3 weeks later, and everything changed. Our lives in the digital space really accelerated, and we realized blockchain was going to be accelerated in its adoption. NFTs were being talked about, and it wasn't until December of last year that I'm now here building out our company, Mavion, as an NFT marketplace, seeing all the exciting things taking shape in this world. And yet when I would talk to my girlfriends, they had no idea what I was saying. So I thought, okay, I
Yeah.
am going to put together a cheat sheet of just things to look at, YouTube videos, podcasts. You're going to love it. And I went to Google and I typed in, what is an NFT? And the results page came back with 17 men looking back at me on the screen. And I realized then that there was no other voice speaking to people outside of a male voice with
Mm,
one kind of approach. It's not a wrong approach, it's just one kind of approach to NFTs. And I think women look for different benefits and value, and we invest differently when it comes to NFTs, crypto, or even just traditional stocks. And so I thought, okay, if there's no female voice out there talking about NFTs, I will just do it myself. I will put the offer out to my friends and family who wants to learn about NFTs. And I messaged that on my Insta story. Within 2 weeks, I had 500 emails from people all
wow.
around the world asking, can I join your friends and family Zoom? Can I? Can I? By 6 weeks into this, I had over 2,000 emails from people I didn't know wanting to be on these Zooms. And I'm just sharing information that is not that pretty. It's just slides that I'm making up because I wanted to get the information out there fast. I thought if I take my time to make the slides look better, these women are not going to get the information they need soon
Mm.
enough. And so that's where it began. And it's been really great to, of course, I'm learning so much more about new projects that are coming out as a result, but also connecting with so many like-minded, forward-thinking women who are interested in Web3.
Oh wow, it shows such a dedication to your vision and what you're building. And this is really great. Sometimes we have so many different ideas, we have a huge vision, but sometimes the market is not there and like waiting when is the right time. And I'm super excited about this launch, but I think we will be talking about this as well. So, I actually found out that you are also an owner of David family wine. So can we
Ah,
consider you as
yes.
a female Gary V?
Yes, I was 10 years ago. I was on the Gary V Wine Library show.
Oh, because you have so
That was
many like
fun.
similarities, passion and Warp 2, Warp 3 space.
It is
But
really wild to think about. I saw that video actually a few months ago, and I thought, my gosh, we were such babies back then. And I love that we were both, I think, two people just curious about how we could innovate in the wine
mm,
world. And now to think, 10 or so years later, we're now innovating in the NFT world. It's crazy how that happens.
yeah, like times are changing. But what was your like first NFT purchase? And I think from the investor's perspective, what kind of research has to be done before you are buying something? Because when you're a beginner and you see like something is going on, something is happening, and it's so easy to ape into some projects that look exciting, but it can also be just like another hype. But also I'm aware that there are so many incredible projects in the space, but like how to find these pearls.
It's a great question. So my first purchase of an NFT was a World of Women, and
Mm,
I remember
a great one.
sitting. I was sitting like literally sweating and like, oof, what am I doing? It felt like such a big investment, and it was. It was in November of last year,
Mm.
and it was November 4th of last year, and it was just over 1 ETH. And I remember thinking, my goodness, oh, I've been
Yeah.
looking at NFTs for a little while now. I've been looking at things that are, zero point 0.2 ETH, zero point 0.3 ETH. This is, 1.4 ETH. I was like, I believe in this. I believe in this female founder. I loved that there was a really strategic but holistic approach to the give back
Mm.
with how funds were going back to support other artists. And it felt like there was something that was a legacy in the making. And I wanted to be a part of that legacy. So I purchased my first one. It was World of Women number 9672. And I know that number because after I purchased it, my husband said to me, "That's my birthday." And I thought, my
Wow.
goodness, this is meant to be. Number 9672, very special. And I really think that that was the catalyst for everything that came next. You know, again, just like having crypto in the early years, when you have a little skin in the game, it heightens your awareness. And I think how you absorb the knowledge of everything that's going on. And it really transformed and fine-tuned my radar. And so what I realized from that point forward was when I'm assessing any NFT for my own investment purpose or for WAGMI, where I vet NFTs to recommend to others, I actually don't spend any time in Discord. I think that Discord blurs the lines of hype versus connection versus foundation. And I think Discord is great for helping a project sell out quickly in a mint, but NFTs that matter are the ones that don't necessarily sell out really quickly then. It's what happens in the first 7 days of the secondary market. It is the most crucial thing for any NFT founder or founding team to stabilize that rocket ship in the first 7 days of the secondaries and make sure that they show how they are going to deliver value to those NFT holders. That's when the real work begins. The real work isn't, hey, we had a mint and we sold out, everyone go on vacation. Your real first day on the job is the day it hits the secondary market. And as a founder, you need to be there driving value for your team again and again. And I think Discord flips that. Discord makes the community work hard to prove themselves to the team. I see it differently. I think that the team should be proving to the community why they should be there and how they can keep driving value.
That's a great point. I think it's like a huge reminder for everybody who are in the space or maybe who are planning to enter the space. But, you know, like sometimes I see this kind of sign, sold out collections. But when you go to like secondary market and you kind of disappointed with the floor price, or you see that the activity is not so exciting. So why some collections actually fail even after the successful minting?
They do. It's really disappointing. And I think that there's a number of reasons why a floor price can go below the mint price. One, of course, it was built on hype. There was never any real community there to begin with. But two, it's the prisoner's dilemma. So prisoner's dilemma is a game theory where two individuals actually act not in their best interests, even though it would be mutually beneficial if they did. So let's take you and I, for example. Let's say we both own an NFT called NFT A. Of course, as the owners of these NFTs, we would want that floor price to be up. We'd love it to be 1 ETH. That's great. Let's say the floor price is 1 ETH. But let's say I need to sell mine. I want to go and purchase some other NFTs now, so I need to sell my NFT. I'm going to price it right below the floor because I want a fast sale. So I priced it at 0.99. Well, then 5 minutes later, Valerie, you come along and you're going to do the same thing. You really want to sell yours quickly because there's another mint coming. And so you're going to price it right under that at 0.98. And then 10 other people do that too because they're also seeing another mint is happening. So they price it at 0.9796. But then the problem begins where others who don't even know what's going on just see the price of the floor dipping and they start to realize that it's crashing. And so everyone starts jumping in on a sell-off without even thinking about it. And before you know it, within hours, that floor price can go from 1 ETH to 0.5 to 0.1. And it's really hard to recover from. That's why it matters to have a really strong community so that people aren't going to get caught up. If they see a dip, they're not going to jump into a sell-off right away. They're going to really hold on to that, ride the dip out, and know that it's going to last 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, that's true. I think community is a key. But as you were as a founder of your own projects, and what do you think are the main criteria to build strong community that lasts, that supports? I mean, I see what you're doing with like Mavion, with the WAGMI. That's kind of amazing, and this transparency, authenticity, and really bringing value to people, but also you don't really see it like in all projects, and sometimes projects can be successful, sometimes not. So what are these kind of key criteria that you believe brings this community together and that people really stick with each other and they're not this in this prison dilemma?
Yes, yes. It's about making the value very clear. So at Mavion, every single person coming into our mint knows that we have a utility where you get the actual piece of jewelry from the artwork, and B, that there are royalties layered in, so that over time there are different collaborations we're announcing where royalties will go back into your wallet as a revenue center. So we've made it very clear what the value is for every NFT holder to turn that NFT into their own mini retail empire. I think for us, that was very easy for us to come together to do. I think where the challenge has been is a lot of NFTs that have launched were art NFTs first. And art in itself can be very valuable, but then there's some that is not. So what can they do? And now they're trying to figure out how to commercialize and create a utility from that, where it wasn't part of their original goal. They're now having to create something for the future. And that's where I think they're getting really tripped up. So this year, I think we'll see a lot more NFTs launching that already have a plan in place for driving value, either through membership, through utility, through royalties, or through product connections.
I see that like art, particularly fashion and gaming, are really booming currently. What do you think are the next industries can be evolving, flourishing in the space in the nearest future?
I think this should be huge for fashion. If 2021 was all about the year of the NFT art, 2022 was all about fashion and gaming for sure. I think next year we'll see more in real estate and commercial fractional memberships. One example, things like restaurants where you need to be an NFT owner to even make a reservation in that restaurant, or you need to be an NFT owner to purchase or buy and go shop at a store. So I think that those kinds of membership access will become more and more popular.
That's so interesting to see. Like, we are living in a very interesting time to see how the world around is changing. But I think it's also, you have to be very careful, because I remember in one of your WAGMI meetings, you mentioned there is a very next level of scamming. And maybe we should speak up about this as well, like how people should keep themselves protected and keep their investments safe.
Great point. Just like any industry or ecosystem where there are humans, there are good characters and bad characters. We still have people who are still breaking into people's car to take sunglasses and petty cash. Sure. We still have people taking credit card theft and identity theft. Well, in things like Discord, we have people who are scamming and phishing to take advantage of others as well. I truly believe there is more good than bad in Discord, but those few bad actors can really wreak havoc, and they do. So that example that you were mentioning, I think normally we see these very short, fast scams where they'll post a phishing link and very quickly try to get people on board and corrupt their wallet, take their wallet. And that's more the traditional scam on Discord. But recently there was a long con where a group of developers came together and created a personality. So there were 4 men, I believe they're all based in Russia, and they created one personality who was very public and very friendly and became a trusted person in a Discord. And they gained trust. They provided really good resources. They proved to be someone who was helping others. And then after several months, they posted another link, as they had done before. They've posted lots of trustworthy links, but this time they posted one that wasn't trustworthy, and it affected thousands of wallets on that Discord. So, I'd say just you can never trust. You can be hopeful, you can have an open mind, but when it comes to clicking links, never trust the link. So I think as a few general rules: never click links in Discord. Never click or open an email from your wallet. If you get an email from MetaMask or your Coinbase wallet, it's a scam. MetaMask has no need to ever email you. In fact, you'll notice when you sign up and open a wallet on MetaMask, you don't even give your email address. There's no possible way for MetaMask to have that information. So
But
treat
also,
all of those communications as a scam.
yeah, but I also see a lot of advertisements like in social media of the collection, and it looks so similar, but it's also a scam at the end of the day. So how to like
That's a
protect yourself from this, especially if you like completely new and you see something, oh, something cool is happening.
That's a really great differentiator between Web 2 and Web 3. In Web 2, we really trusted paid placements. Social media ads, any ad we would trust. But in Web 3, it's not about ads. If you have to pay for those kinds of followers and for that community, it's usually a rug pull or a scam. So the real blue chip NFTs to be a part of are the ones that build it organically or through PR, not through paid placements.
Yeah, that's great things to check. So maybe let's talk about this amazing things like, for example, WAGMI NFT, that is all about spreading knowledge and education. A lot of people were asking me during the last weeks, what is NFT, how to be involved. And I think it's very important what is the source of knowledge and what is, behind this, like what is intention the person who is providing this information has. And maybe you can share what is WAGMI NFT and what are the future plans.
Absolutely. So WAGMI is, WAGMI is an acronym used in Web3. It's WAGMI, and it stands for We All Gonna Make It. And it's a really great tag or acronym to signal a sense of camaraderie amongst an all-inclusive community. I think so many of these platforms, news sources can feel really dominated by the crypto bros, whereas WAGMI is almost like a white flag to say we are welcome, you are welcome here, we are here to help you, support you, and vice versa. So it's a really collaborative hashtag to use or to look for when you're looking for news sources or accounts to follow. For the WAGMI NFT Instagram account, it really was built to be a place where if you're looking for a trusted NFT to invest in or to learn about, you could come here and know that the founders have been doxxed and that a real point of connection and communication has been made. There are too many Instagram accounts where those paid for placements have taken place, and anyone, including the scammers, can post, and and then I think it really negatively impacts the rest of the feed. So there are no paid placements on the WAGMI NFT account. Everything is posted through verification. I have made contact with the founders. I've either spoken to them. We have mutual connections. I look for 3 or 4 points of connection and viability to make sure that they are in fact real people. And then I also assess their roadmap. I look to see what it is they're building and will they be around in 8 months, in 18 months, and what does it look like in 5 years? And I ask those questions to get a sense. And I can tell, when I'm talking to somebody and they don't really have an answer, it's okay, they don't have an answer, but I'm not going to recommend that project on the WAGMI account. I will give that founder plenty of time to figure it out, and I always welcome them to come back. We can stay connected, they can share an update, but until they are taking their role seriously as a founder that works for their NFT holders, that's not a project that I would recommend and post to the grid.
Well, that's really great insights. And I think it's time to talk about the most exciting things that is going to happen in March is the launch, the minting of Mavion World. And yeah. I think this would be most probably my very first minting. I have no idea how it's working. But as Gary Vee says, if you want to learn something, make your hands dirty. So meaning simply just do it. And yeah, you already mentioned like what is the vision. Maybe you also want to share like the team behind, what drives you. It's crazy amount of work, dedication, and commitment to provide value to community. And as you said, it's not just like something short term and go and have nice vacations after meeting is done. That's when work actually starts. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this.
Yes, well, thank you. And I'm honored to hear that this could be your first mint. We would love to have you as a Mavion. The mint, we're just actually announcing you're one of the first people that we're sharing it with. The pre-sale mint is taking place. We have a couple of lists. There's the OG list. So for those who signed up with us before February 1st, they will be minting on February 28th. And then for those on our rainbow list, so for anyone who signs up now before February 25, they will be able to mint on the rainbow list on March 2nd. And then the public mint is on March 3rd. And it will all be through our website, which is mavion.world. And then the secondary market will be on OpenSea. We are building on Ethereum. We have the best team. I mean, I'm totally biased, but they are the best team. My co-founder, Andrea, we've been together for many years. She is our chief product officer, and she has the incredible job, I don't know how she does it, where she manages the 400 relationships with all of our independent designers around the world. She never sleeps because she's always messaging and talking and communicating with somebody in Greece or Japan or different parts of Europe. So she is absolutely the backbone of all the great products that people will see in these artworks. She is based in Santa Barbara, California. I am based in Australia right now, so we are global just between the two of us. But we have a few others on our team. Rick is our back engine guru. He's based in Portland, helping to make sure everything runs smoothly on the back end. And Val is our graphic designer, and she's in DC. So again, just covering all time zones. And I am so excited to share that we are launching a Discord on Monday, and we just hired our community manager. Her name is Hallie, and she is based in Norway. So we don't have anybody who is in the same time zone, which is good news. It means that at any given point during the day, there's at least one of us who is fully awake and ready and diving in, having our morning coffee and jumping into work.
That's great.
So always someone to find.
Wow. So let's make ETH ready,
ready
to mint.
Exactly. So
yeah,
we will have different allocations. The allocations will be revealed when you click to mint, so you'll know what you can do. I would just preface that it is a small allocation. We are really mindful of wanting to make sure as many people can be a part of this as possible. It's been great to have the interest from so many people around the world. I was DMing with somebody earlier today who's in Brazil, and it was really heartwarming to hear about how she and her husband both opened a wallet for the first time, and Mavion will be their first NFT also. And also to make sure that we can stabilize that floor price, you know, to really think about making the value of these NFTs last through that secondary market. So there's not just a flood of resales that change the value for everyone.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being so, just how to say, approachable, to be ready to share and really connect with your community. That's really rare thing, I would say. And, you know, the last thing I always ask my guests to imagine one thing, because I believe that we are all creators of our own universe. Maybe for some, it's easy now to create their own universe in the meta space, but still, like Michelle, creator, what would you share? What would be your message for our listeners and our viewers? What your voice can project, like inspire, elevate, light up?
I would say decide what to be and go be it. Web3 gives you such easy access now to realize your potential. So go be that person that you've always thought you could be, wanted to be, knew you were, and go be it. And know that Web3 is the most collaborative, supportive community, especially the women in Web3, ready to support and help grow. Women build the strongest communities on earth, And they are really showing that in Web3.
Yeah, that's true. It's all about value. So thank you very much for your contribution, for being part of this episode, for this speaking up time.
Oh, my pleasure. It was so lovely to see you, and thank you.
I hope you all had a lot of knowledge, insights, took a lot of notes, and don't forget, it's time to speak up, light up, and I'll see you in the next episode.